So the number one question that I have for a new person that I'm working with, whether they are new to intuitive eating or eating disorder recovery, or they've been doing this for a long time, whether they're in a smaller body or a larger body, whether they are someone who seems to know a lot about nutrition or someone who has a lot of questions about nutrition, my first question is always, are you eating enough? And that often surprises people because so many times when they come to see me, their concern is that they're eating too much or the wrong way or too much at certain times or something that needs to be fixed. Usually it's not about, in their minds, eating enough. But in fact, this is the basis of an intuitive eating practice and of eating disorder recovery and honestly of just living your best life. You need to be eating enough. And so that means eating regularly throughout the day. That means eating in a way that satisfies you for the most part between meals, right? So that you're not getting hungry rapidly after you eat. So that generally means adding protein, carb, and fat to each meal and snack. But this is something to be asking yourself. Can I really be asking myself to do some of the deeper emotional work of intuitive eating? Can I really be thinking about changing habits if one of my most basic biological needs is going unmet often? If I'm not eating enough, not eating regularly, it's really not possible or reasonable to think about doing more complicated work. So I'm sending this out the day before Thanksgiving when a lot of people are trying to figure out what their guardrails are around eating, but do the experiment for yourself of making sure that you eat enough even earlier in the day and see how that affects your experience of the day. But beyond this holiday, every day, do begin to think about this and do the observations for yourself. If there are certain times where you just can't eat regularly, observe what effect that has on you physically and emotionally and mentally. Other days when you are able to eat regularly, what effect does that have on your energy, on your mood, on your ability to be conscious and mindful of how you're eating the rest of the day, or even conscious and mindful of the words that you use and the way you communicate with other people. It's so fundamental to supply your brain and body with adequate calories and nutrients that eating enough is the primary thing to think about before you dive into the rest of this work. Okay, see you next time.